We're going to start our construction updates where we always do, right here on Main Street, USA, or rather at the front of Main Street. And the Disneyland Railroad is actually open, but Scrim is still up. I was actually surprised to see that. I knew that it opened just a couple of days ago, and I thought all this would be gone, but it is open. You can clearly see there that there is a pathway that's open and there's people up there. So the Disneyland Railroad is once again open again. It opened on Friday, October 25th, but we do still have some Scrim around the Main Street station. I'm not sure you're going to necessarily be able to tell what they did if you ride it. I've heard that they have updated a good portion of the track around the ride, and they've also done some touch-ups and things to the different stations, which of course is what you see going on here, them doing some touch-ups to the station. Probably the average guest isn't going to notice any difference. They didn't change the actual attraction. As far as I'm aware, nothing to the actual like displays or dioramas got changed at all. This is just merely a maintenance upkeep sort of thing. And it is open again, so it's been closed for about 2 months. Opened on Friday, October 25th. A lot of you will be excited about that one, I'm sure. If we have time later in this video, maybe we'll ride it just for funsies. Because honestly, this video isn't going to be that long. I have mostly good news for you guys, with the exception of one item. No further updates to Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, so we are not going to belabor that point, but it is still closed with no known reopening date. And if you are curious, colder weather has descended upon the Disneyland Resort, with mornings being in the 50s. And it may not sound bad to you, but 50s can still be somewhat biting. There are a lot of people who are walking around without jackets or things. I'm actually still in shorts. It will warm up to 70s a little bit later on. So like I said, it's not terrible, but just factor in that it might be a bit nippy in the mornings. Rope drop is just getting ready to kick off here. I'm actually going to get breakfast before we continue the video, but thought I'd let you watch the rope drop rush. So there they go. One of my favorite things to do is what these people were just doing, is just sit here in the chairs and, you know, chill. Why stand in that big, huge herd? You can sit down for a bit and rest and relax. But yeah, here's a look at rope drop. I honestly don't usually show you the whole like rope drop disbursement usually, because I'm usually in it and we're on our way rushing to a ride. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, just in case you are curious. I always do these construction updates the last couple of days of the month as we look forward to the next month. But yeah, this is rope drop this morning. It's been a while since I've gotten one of my favorite Jolly Holiday cinnamon rolls, so I thought since it's getting a little colder and should be a nice warm treat, at least I'm hoping it's a nice warm treat. I just purchased it fresh as soon as they opened, so we're gonna sit in my usual people watching spot here at the Jolly Holiday and enjoy. Not that this was ever a super huge issue or anything for probably the vast majority of you. However, last month we reported that Pixie Hollow, where you meet Tinkerbell, which is the right straight ahead, it was behind construction wall, and now we know that it will be opening on Sunday, November 17th. So if you are looking forward to meeting Tinkerbell, you can do that right here between, well, there's the pathway that goes up to Fantasyland and the Matterhorn. And here is Tomorrowland. It's in this area right here. The entrance is actually over on that side of the pathway headed towards the Matterhorn. That'll be opening again on Sunday, November 17th. Even though it's not even Halloween yet, the Disneyland Resort is slowly transforming into Christmas. Snow appeared on the castle a couple of weeks ago for some filming that they were doing. And since my last visit, they have now added icicles. Yes, icicles on the outside of the castle. Not a whole lot to talk about here in this video, so we are gonna stretch a few things. We're going into Frontierland. Oh look, they got the Christmas garland up too. I want to talk about Adventureland though while we're walking to our next attraction. Last month we reported the Jungle Cruise was closed and was reopening, and we talked about that permits had been like filed and things to update, and look, more garland over here under Pioneer Mercantile. That they were updating the like tiger scene in Jungle Cruise because it had some fairly ugly facade around it for quite a few months. Well, I've ridden that ride since it reopened. and it's still there. So I have no idea what they did. I mean, we even showed you last month where there was tarp around the tiger scene. But after 3 weeks of a refurb, it looks like they did nothing. So I couldn't tell you what went on at Jungle Cruise. There's Garland over there at the Golden Horseshoe too. I tell you what, you know, they used to do the transformation from Halloween to Christmas overnight. October 31st, it would be looking like Halloween, and November 1st, it looked like Christmas. They haven't done that since COVID. But we're coming over here to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, because unfortunately, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad does find itself on the refurb calendar, closing on Monday, November 18th, and it is still closed as of December 10th, which is as far out as the refurb calendar goes as far as the time of this filming. I tried searching online for information about why this is closing, what's going on. I mean, it could just be regular touch-ups, but it's rather unusual for them to close rides during the Christmas season. In fact, whenever we get to December, aside from mentioning Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, I would be shocked if we have really anything to talk about, because there's just really not a lot closed during the month of December. They always try to have everything open. So I'm shocked that they're putting a ride as big as Big Thunder on the refurb calendar in the Christmas holiday season. No information could I find online about what's going on. In fact, every bit of articles that popped up about Big Thunder going down for refurb were all Magic Kingdom related, because theirs is closing for a very long time. So I guess everyone is just concerned about their Big Thunder, not about ours, and reporting news on it. I don't know. We haven't mentioned it in a while, but I would like to remind you that a good portion of New Orleans Square is still under construction while as they are updating the area, just making it look nicer, updating the Haunted Mansion queue. And part of that is that the New Orleans Square / Frontierland train station is still closed. And so even though the railroad has reopened, you cannot get off here. You have to continue on to Toontown. Construction walls, like I said, are still up. This is what they're doing. They're turning the area into like something that looks like this. They're just making it look a lot nicer and more cohesive, I suppose, with the new Bayou sort of theme with Tiana's Palace. Haunted Mansion's new Memento Mori store is coming along. It's making progress. Definitely different than the last time I saw it, but I am not a construction terminology buff, so I don't really know how to tell you what's going on there, except for that it is making progress. Oh, look at this! They have removed some of the construction wall right here in front of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. When I was here for previews the other day on the 24th, was it? No, 22nd. The 22nd of October. Oh, and they've got the water running on it too. When I was here for pass holder previews, they didn't have the water running, and they also had the wall up here, so I couldn't actually get a good look at Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This is my first really good look at it. So I love this. And then they've got this new Bayou Country sign up as well, which is really cool. So I'm glad that I'm actually able to like look at something besides construction wall, and that they've got the water running. I should mention that Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens to the public on November 15th, Friday, November 15th. The last day for pass holder previews is Tuesday, November 12th. So if you are hoping for Disney to soft open the attraction, the earliest day that that's going to happen is going to be on Wednesday, November 13th. Disney does love to soft open attractions, so you can hold out hope that that's always a possibility. Whether it's the 13th, the 14th, I don't know. Of course, plan for it not to open until the 15th. That way you're not disappointed, but just be aware that it might soft open in a few days before. In addition to the construction walls in front of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the construction walls over here in front of what's going to become Ray's Berets has come down as well. Even as early as last week, the construction walls were up, like, I think right through here. And yeah, this is my first look at Ray's Berets. So that's, oh, it's open. It's already open. Oh, we're gonna have to go inside. Okay, ooh, so we do have some new Bayou theming in here. Really cool. Of course, it's the same type of store that it was before. It's a hat store, an ear store. You want to come in and look for some Minnie ears, Mickey ears, hats. This is the place to do it. But oh, look, there's Ray. We got a, jar, sweet jar. Because fireflies get put in jars all the time. Oh, here's his jar. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I like the theming in here. Ooh, we got Lewis and Mama Odie. Oh, and Ray with him. I didn't see Ray, he's so tiny in the photo. I think this is my first look at the sign for Tiana's Bayou Adventure too. That's really cool. Hungry Barbecue Jamboree has already opened as well. I don't think we even had an opening date during my last update, but Disney has been surprise opening a few things lately. And Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree opened on Friday, October 25th. The Disneyland Railroad was along with that. Like, it opened on Friday, October 25th, and we hadn't gotten an early notification based on the refurb calendar. It just kind of appeared. Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. I am going to actually be trying it out today. I know there's probably other videos up about it already because I didn't come on the day that it opened. Today's Tuesday. It opened a couple of days ago. Whatever. This is the first time I could get up here. Video will be out on Friday for you guys. Dumbo the Flying Elephant once again finds itself on the refurb calendar. I feel like at this point it's some sort of cruel joke. It's going to close on Tuesday, November 19th and reopen on Wednesday, November 20th. Yeah, the same thing it's done for the last 2 months. It's going to close for a single day, always a Tuesday in the middle of the month, and then it's going to reopen the very next day. I say this is a joke because this is the third month in a row that I have been surprised to see this on the calendar. Like, are they just closing this one day a month? Or is this the same refurb that they just keep rescheduling? I have no idea. And it's just, it's laughable to me now that this keeps appearing for one day, always on a Tuesday. This time, November 19th. We'll see if it happens again in December, I guess. Of course, for the last few months, we have reported on It's a Small World, but I can finally say that the month that it is reopening has arrived. It's a Small World will reopen on Friday, November 15th with the Christmas season as It's a Small World holiday. What you may not know, however, is that It's a Small World, also starting on November 15th, will have a special holiday lighting ceremony here at 4:30 p.m. 4:30, isn't that kind of early? Ish. I know that, like, by that time of year, it'll be dark by 5 at the latest. Might be a little early yet, but it will have the holiday lighting ceremony here on the facade of It's a Small World, because if you've ever seen it at Christmas time, it's got tons of sparkling, colorful lights, and they'll have that lighting ceremony at 4:30 p.m. And if you want to make it to the Main Street tree lighting, we'll mention that one here as well. They have the Main Street tree lighting at 5 p.m. So in theory, you could see this one at 4:30 and book it all the way down to Main Street to see that big giant tree that's in the center area. You can see that get all lit up. That's like the main lighting ceremony. It's nothing like super special. I've seen it before. I've seen this one before too. But it's still something that you may be interested in doing. And so those are the times that will take place starting on November 15th once the holiday season kicks off. In addition to the previous 2 lighting ceremonies that we talked about, Sleeping Beauty Castle here has one called Wintertime Enchantment, which will launch with the start of the Christmas season. Now, the times for this do vary, but on the first day, there's going to be a lighting at 7:30 p.m. and an 8:30 p.m. lighting. Now, it's not necessarily like a castle lighting in the sense that it'll be the first time that the castle's lit up, because, of course, they have 2 shows, but it's like a lights and projection show. It's very short. It's not like super duper long or anything like that, but something that you may consider wanting to see if you're going to be sticking around for the fireworks show, which we can just transition into right now. Right now, Halloween Screams is still going on as of the time that it's filming. It's Tuesday, October 29th. But starting on November 1st, Mickey's Mix Magic makes its return to the Disneyland Resort, which is kind of like Disneyland's default fireworks show during the off-season. So for the next 2 weeks, it will run Mickey's Mix Magic with fireworks on weekends only, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and with projections during the week. Starting on November 15th, Believe in Holiday Magic will once again return to the Disneyland Resort for the Christmas season, and showing its true superiority as Christmas being the best time to visit Disneyland over Halloween. The Believe in Holiday Magic fireworks show happens nightly throughout the entire Christmas season. Yes, even on weekdays, even on the days that the weeks that don't really have any holidays like Thanksgiving or Christmas in them. And so every single day, there is no projection-only show. There will be fireworks every single day, as far as I can tell, looking at the calendar, the events calendar. You can check out the events calendar online. I'll put a link to it down in the description. It's also the same place that you can check out the refurb calendar, find out what's closed. Again, it goes out 6 weeks, and Believe in Holiday Magic will run the entirety of the Christmas season. Fantasmic, however, still only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What about parades? Of course, right now they have the Halloween cavalcade, not a full parade, and it will disappear as of November 1st. From November 1st till November 14th, there will be nothing going on parade-wise, cavalcade-wise throughout the day. And then, of course, starting on Friday, November 15th, the Christmas Fantasy Parade will make its return to the Disneyland Resort. One of my favorite parades that they have every single year. It is a tradition for us to watch it. I am not a super huge parade person, but I make a point to watch the Christmas Fantasy Parade every single year. They have 2 showings, one at 2:30 p.m. and one at 5:30 p.m. The 5:31 will be in the dark. The 2:31, of course, will be in the lights. They have 2 different ways that you can watch that. I prefer the 5:31 in the dark. It just adds extra little special to see all the Christmas lights and things lit up on the parade. But of course, it'll go through this area right here. It starts up at It's a Small World, works its way down, wraps around the hub here, and then it will head down Main Street there on the opposite end. And then at the 5:30 showing, it'll do it the opposite. It'll do it in reverse. It should start at Main Street and work its way up to It's a Small World. Now we're going to take the monorail right now, and something that we have yet to report on since the monorail reopened from its last refurb, which it went down the same date that the Disneyland Railroad did, just reopened significantly earlier than the railroad. However, since it reopened, they've allowed the ability for you once again to ride in the nose cone of the monorail, and I still haven't done that. We need to go continue our update in downtown Disney, and so I figured this was the perfect opportunity to go ride in the nose cone. We'll start at that end of downtown Disney for once and work our way back towards the parks. And there's that monorail right there. Gorgeous view from up here. Perfect view. Wonderful morning. There's nobody up here. Nobody whatsoever. So shouldn't have any trouble getting a nose cone spot. Well, I just asked if I could ride in the nose cone here, and they said to hang out at gate number 1, but it will be up to the pilot. So it's not like a guaranteed thing, but I did just see someone riding in it like 5 minutes ago. So I'm hopeful. Well, here we are. I was able to get in and ride it. I'm so excited. You do ride with the pilot, so it is up to their discretion.
Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Monorail. We are now when Walt Disney introduced this attraction in 1959. It was raised fully unique and exciting new ways. That towering. We're now passing Grizzly Peak, land of scenic wonders, where you can experience. Coming into view is Disney's Grand Eagle Hotel Spa. This features the arts and art style of the 19th century. Please hold on to your park ticket as you leave the station. You may reboard the monorail for a return trip to Tomorrowland up until 1/2 hour prior to Disneyland closing.
This next item is perhaps more news than it is construction, but reports are coming in that Tai Fung, one of my favorite new restaurants at Disneyland, is accepting to-go takeout orders. If you want to get some of those amazing chocolate bao buns, now is your chance without actually having to go in, sit down, and, well, you know, pay for tips and all that sort of thing. Some screaming construction walls and scaffolding have come down around the Parkside Markets. I haven't heard an official date as to when this is opening, but I love seeing progress, and this is progress. We can actually start to see the building. You can even see some of the upstairs portions, but I'm excited to see some progress. I don't remember if I yet reported that the restroom to the right-hand side of the Lego store is once again open. It had closed for a little while, but it is open. That's one of my favorite restrooms to use in downtown Disney. But as far as the Legoland store goes itself, the Legoland store is closed right now, undergoing some refurbishments. We recently learned that it will be reopening on Sunday, December 1st. So those of you who love to come to the Lego store, make sure you come check it out again as of Sunday, December 1st. Unlike the Parkside Markets, however, Tortilla Joes building still stands. No progress, no visible progress whatsoever going on over here. We already know about the transformation of this place into a steakhouse and barbecue joint, and 2 different locations, by the way, when I say that. 2 different locations, but it is going to take over the footprint of Tortilla Joes, and there's just, I mean, they would have to demolish this. That's what they're going to have to do. It's going to have to completely come down, and there's no progress towards that end. No additional visible progress going on over here at, I can't remember what this place is going to be called now. It's not Marceline's Confectionery anymore. It'll be like the Wonderful World of Sweets or something like that. The only potential possibility of progress that we've seen since our last time, I don't remember if we saw the colorful posts, the colorful pillars. Otherwise, still no news when this is opening either. And for our Disney California Adventure updates, we're going to have to do it right here from the Esplanade because it's only 9 a.m. and I cannot hop in there at the moment. I have some other things to film today, and so I'm not going to be able to hop to go over and do this. But there's very few things to share with you about Disney California Adventure. Little Mermaid, we've reported about that previously. Little Mermaid will close on Monday, November 4th, and it will reopen on Saturday, November 23rd. So it'll be closed for a good portion of November, but not the entirety of the month. And then that's it. That's the only closure in Disney California Adventure that you need to be aware of. But there is one more thing that I'd like to talk about, and that is World of Color. World of Color did reopen on Friday, October 25th as World of Color 1. We theorized that potentially it might have returned to its original version. It did not. However, this was another one of those surprise things where the refurb calendar had it going into November, and then we got some reports that it was going to open on October 25th, and a couple of days after those reports, the refurb calendar updated to reflect that. It is already open, already running. World of Color 1 is back, but starting on November 15th, World of Color will turn into World of Color Season of Light. It is the holiday version of that. And if you stick around here on the channel on November 15th, I will be going to the dessert party of World of Color Season of Light. First time I've seen World of Color Season of Light, and first time I have done a dessert party. There will be a review video for you guys so that you can see what World of Color looks like, and the primary thing though is the review of the dessert party to see if it's worth it. That video will be up shortly after I film it. I don't know exactly when, but the following week. There's tons of stuff coming out that week. I'll have tons of food videos for you because of all the new food dropping at DCA. Oh, I guess I should mention there's one more thing with DCA, is that Festival of Holidays will launch on November 15th as well. Our first festival at DCA since Pixar Fest ended, and even that Pixar Fest, I felt like most of the food was over at Disneyland. So the first real full-fledged festival since Food and Wine in April. And I love Festival of Holidays, lots of good food. We'll have a video specifically on that for you coming on the channel shortly thereafter as well. And that's it for our time here today, giving you a construction update for the month of November at the Disneyland Resort. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer them. Click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.